Why don't we start? Why don't we start with the Ravens? Hey, Raven fan, be more. How you living? Have you called the fire department yet? Because where there is smoke, there is generally fire, and it looks like your damn house is ablaze. Seriously, the hell is going on there, Ravens fan? Believe me, your players want to know the same thing. They've got the same question. Now, generally, when I think about button-up franchises in the NFL, franchises that you want to emulate, the Ravens are one of those franchises because of their stability, their consistency, their sustained competitiveness. You know, franchises like the Ravens, Chiefs, Steelers, Niners, these are the types of teams that come to mind. Or at least it used to be like that, because whatever it is that's going on in Beemore right now is the exact opposite of buttoned up and stability. I mean, obviously, you've got that back and forth between Lamar Jackson and the team regarding his contract. I mean, I'm obviously not there for it. I'm not privy to those discussions. But from the outside looking in, no one on either side is saying anything of any substance, which leads me to believe that there is nothing of substance taking place in the way of negotiations. And now they're on the clock. And they're running out of time. They're running out of the time in the sense, like Eric DaCosta, their GM, would say, no, we're not. We're actually not running out of time. But they are running out of time. And I'll tell you why. They're running out of time in the sense that if they don't get a deal done, and it certainly doesn't look like they're going to get a deal done, they're going to have to then hit him with one of the two franchise tags. Now, that may or may not go well. Maybe Lamar accepts the franchise tag, shows up and goes to work, or maybe Lamar doesn't like that and says, you know what? I'm not cool with that. Trade me. So they do have deadlines, maybe artificial deadlines, but deadlines, because they're going to have to tag him if they don't get a deal done soon. Deadlines can typically spur action. Deadlines can heighten negotiations and a sense of urgency. I'm just not sure that's the case there, because these two sides appear to be, and again, I'm not there, but the two sides appear to be really far apart. The two sides appear to be dug in for where they are. Like if Lamar sees Deshaun Watson's guaranteed deal as a precedent, and the Ravens see that deal as an outlier and an anomaly and not a comp, then what? Where does that leave them? Does Lamar then accept the franchise tag? One more sidebar on the tag. The team really can't do anything about anything else that matters until they know what they're doing with Lamar. Until they know which of the two tags they're going to go with or whether or not they get a long-term deal done. So everything's on hold right now, including the most important thing. So again, does he accept a tag if they hit him with a tag, or does he say to management, F them franchise tags? F them franchise tags, and then ask for a trade. I'm just saying, it looks and feels bad, right? I could be wrong. Hey, lo and behold, maybe come next week, there's a deal done, and that's all great. Doubt it, but maybe. But that's not their only problem. That is far and away their biggest problem, but not their only problem. Did you see what their supposed number one wideout, Rashad Bateman, tweeted yesterday when he went in on DaCosta? After DaCosta went in on his own receiving core. And he did so publicly, something you rarely see, and especially from that guy. But the GM said, quote, if I had an answer, that would probably mean I would have some better receivers. We're going to keep swinging. There have been some guys that have been successful players for us that were draft picks. We've never really hit on that all-pro type of guy, which is disappointing, but it's not for a lack of effort. That's one of those anomalies that I really can't explain other than to say that we're not going to stop trying. End of quote. I don't know. You know what that sounds like to me? If I had to decode that, our receivers suck. And it's not my fault. I've tried. Of course Bateman's mad. Of course he saw that and is mad. Who wouldn't be? So he did what most in his position should not do, but I'm glad that he did do. He immediately reached for his phone, and he thumbed out the following, quote, how about you play to your player's strength? And stop pointing the finger at us. And number 8, blame the one you let do this. We take heat 24/7 and keep us healthy and care about us and see what happened. Ain't no promises, though. Tired of y'all lying and capping on players for no reason. End of tweet. Alvin, you can go ahead and hit that guy with a straight fire. That is a bomb. And, of course, thanks, Alvin. Today would be great. Of course, he deleted the tweet in less than an hour and apologized. And, of course, it didn't matter because, like I always say, the internet is in ink. You can delete or erase anything, but it's there forever, even if it's only up for a few moments. And former and current teammates were quick to jump in to his defense. Former Raven first-rounder Hollywood Brown, who obviously has got an axe to grind because they had jettisoned him to Arizona, but he replied with, quote, "Let him cook. Let him cook. Let Bateman cook." In other words, let him keep talking. Wait, there's more. There's more. Then you've got that NFLPA report, the report card, which came out, which made a lot of teams and organizations look like crap. Made them look like Division III college programs, not the NFL teams they're supposed to be, especially the Ravens. 1,300 players across the NFL were asked to evaluate their own organization in 8 different categories. One of the categories was strength staff. The Raven players gave the Ravens strength staff an F minus.
F
minus.
F
minus.
F.
I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know they handed those out. Apparently, that's how bad Baltimore's strength staff has been. And if you look at the last 2 years, if you listen to Jim Rome's Big Head Bets, the pod, the legendary award-winning pod, we talked about it every single week. The health status of the Ravens, or lack thereof. And if you look at them the last couple of years, they've had a lot of injuries, especially soft tissue injuries. So you start to wonder. Baltimore has been one of the most injured teams the last couple of years. So, of course, their players gave the strength and conditioning staff not an F, but an F minus. Do you know how much they must hate that staff to add the minus to the F? Not even a D minus. Not even an F. An F minus. And on top of that, that wasn't one of those things where we're going to give you an F minus, but we need you to protect our anonymity. Guys, put your name to it. Former Raven Carl Davis tweeted, quote, "I was definitely a victim of the strength coaches, 2 labrums, and multiple pec strains." Also, Quincy Adebayo wrote, quote, "Definitely ruined my career. 3-year season-ending injuries in a row after being healthy my entire career prior." End of quote. So, of course, Baltimore then breaks off their strength coach, Steve Saunders. But I'm sure for a lot of these guys, it was obviously way too little, way too late. And by the way, for Lamar's health has not exactly been on his side either.
Jackson.
And neither is time. Again, where there is smoke, there is generally a fire. In Baltimore, it might finally be time to lob the freaking fire department a phone call. Because it looks like your house is burning down, yo. I want to single them out. There are other bad report cards. As bad as that F minus is, at least the Ravens aren't the Jags. Granted, there's a ton to like about the Jags. And the Jags are set at quarterback. And the Ravens have a major question mark at quarterback. And the Jags don't have players sniping in management right before the draft. But the Jags have something the Ravens don't have. At least I think. Rats.